When I was in junior high, my buddy Sean found the book. A 1970s sex guide with pics of a hippie dude and chick doing it in every position. Today in B-Town Reddit stories. What is the worst thing you have found in your parents' closet? When I was little, I was in my parents' room and I wasn't supposed to be, but when they came in there I hid in their closet. I found a pair of pink fuzzy handcuffs and thought they would be great to play a game with my brothers, like a cops and robbers game. Needless to say, my brother ended up stuck in the handcuffs and we had to get my mom to help get them off, and they disappeared after that. Didn't realize until I was much older what those were used for. Reply: this is hilarious. I can imagine your parents' reaction, but trying to keep it cool in front of you. Somewhat similar, I wrote my wife a pretty graphic note about the naughty things I'd like to do to her and left it on her pillow. Our then 3-year-old daughter apparently found it and ran downstairs excitedly shouting, "Look at the note Daddy wrote for me, Mom." My wife had to keep a straight face and play it off in the moment, but was dying inside, much like I imagine your mom when she was unlocking the cuffs. That's where their porn stash was. Me and my siblings would watch them and laugh, had no concept of what was happening. Just naked people were funny. One tape started, and it wasn't professional. Camera was set up at the foot of the bed, dude moved his leg, and it's at that moment we all realized it was my dad and mom. Never went back in that closet. To add more context to this, now that this memory has been dislodged from 30 years ago. This was 1990, I was 11. Sister was 13 and brother was 9. The movies we had watched were the classic 80s porn. More like a bad movie with sex in it. So they were funny to us. We grew up with sex in our faces. I remember watching Porky's with my parents. I remember when sex scenes came on movies they would just say "cover your eyes," which they only said to absolve themselves of any guilt from watching these movies with them. We would just lift our crocheted blankets over our heads and watch through the holes in the blanket. My friends were losing their virginity at 12, 6th grade, because we grew up in a poor area, and there wasn't anything to do but have sex. I have seen both my parents and my sister in a homemade porn. At this point, it's just a funny story, me and my siblings. Horrifying, yes, but no long-term damage. The best part of this story was later that night. The video started with my dad rubbing my mom's thigh, then he moved his leg, we saw everything waist down first on both of them, then my dad's bald head, and we knew then. That night we had fried chicken, and when we came out to eat, my brother said, unknowingly and just by happenstance, "Uck, fried chicken? The last thing I want is thighs or breasts, can I have mac and cheese?" My sister and I shared a look, then looked down and just shoveled it in, then ran to our rooms. A rotten ham that was purchased for Thanksgiving dinner, but got misplaced with the Christmas presents and hidden in the back of the closet. I found it a week before Christmas while trying to find the smell. So for those asking who care, I had to call my mom and did discover the 6-year-old me didn't remember it correctly after 30 years. It was a roast, not a ham. My mom thought she had somehow forgotten it at the store, so went and bought a replacement. As for the smell, the packaging wasn't completely sealed, so the juices from the meat started leaking initially into the shopping bag but then onto the flooring in the closet. I am truly grateful my parents were not degenerates. They probably were / or they just didn't hide it in the closet. I found a huge rubber dildo, and my mom saw me finding it. I was probably about 8 or 9, we were going through some old luggage and she must have forgotten it was there. I asked what it was, and she just said it was my dad's, and took it. For some time after that I thought my dad's penis was detachable. A peephole that was pointed at the toilet in the family bathroom. They aren't in my life anymore. Just to clarify, I found this when I was in middle school and me and my friends saw my father's internet history. He also left it open, and as a joke went looking for one and actually found one. Luckily my friend was there, because when I revealed how horrid they were I had someone to confirm one of my claims were true, making everything more believable. If you are going to take something from this, take this. Therapy can help you deal with your trauma. I was suicidal and had no family. Having a good therapist that made me feel like I mattered helped me so much. Please ask for help if you are struggling. You are loved and your feelings matter. I found a cucumber sitting on my dad's nightstand one morning. Me as a little kid, why is there a cucumber in here? Mom, your dad thought he might like a healthy midnight snack. Me as an adult, oh. Divorce papers from 2003. It was 2007 and my parents were still living together. My dad was very absent and on overnight work trips a lot, so a lot of things got pieced together after that. I found my grandma's dildo when I was a kid. I didn't know what it was. I touched it and waved it around. Years later, when she'd guessed that I'd had sex for the first time, she waved a different dildo as she chased me around the house demanding details. She specifically yelled, "Was his dick like this? Huh? Was it?" while laughing hysterically. I love her. After my dad moved out, I was going through my mom's closet for some reason and I found porn DVDs and Viagra in the back corner hidden under my old karate belts. Reply: I found my dad's Viagra once when I was visiting him. I swiped one. And that's how I found out how expensive they are when he called me up cursing a blue streak about how he knew I'd stolen one. I bought him multiple steak dinners as repayment. Once my boner finally went away, of course. Hundreds, maybe even over 1,000, lottery tickets. We were dirt poor. Dad earned more than I do as an adult, and I'm pushing into middle class, if not in it already, and we were still living poor as hell. Family found out where all the money would go. Reply: people addicted to lottery tickets always confuse me. They'll spend $1,000 just to win 50, then be like, "Ha. See? I won one." And then they never seem to realize how much money it took to get them to a single win. As someone who delivers to and basically works at multiple gas stations, I see it all the time. My mom hired a professional photographer to take photos of my brother's birth. Not newborn photos, but photos of him coming out of her. I found those photos. Christmas gifts from Santa. I didn't even realize it, I just thought they were gifts from my parents, and then my mom was like, "Oh, you saw them, there's no Santa." Like, me, my sister and a friend of ours went hunting around our parents' room. Found our mom's pink dildo. We didn't know what it was, so we took it to her to ask her. She told us it was part of a strawberry shortcake castle, but since we found it, she would not be getting the rest of the pieces, as punishment for snooping around. We believed her. My dad was laughing his ass off the entire time. Unbeknownst to me, my dad taped over my SNL, Best of Chris Farley VHS. My best bud found it in their closet, and we were stoked to watch it. It was my dad banging my stepmom. By the time I realized what I was watching and leaping for the eject button, my dad nutted and said, "It's so good but never lasts." This line has haunted me for 20 years. Thank you for listening to another B-Town Reddit Stories episode. Hit the subscribe button and check out our channel for more stories. Let us know your opinion about this topic in the comments.